Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time coming, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over saving UFC 300. I get that this card is an amazing card for any other card, but keyword for any other card. This card was hyped up to be the fucking godfather of all cards, and it's a very good card, but there could be some changes. So in the comments, tag Dana White, tag the UFC, tag the matchmakers, tag whoever needs to see this, because I think I can give them some good advice. Saving UFC 300, let's get started. Move Zhang Weili versus Johnson on to 301. There's no easy way to say this. A woman's co-main shouldn't be on 300. Come on now. Now listen. I know that Max Holloway versus Gaethje, that's a BMF title fight, but we need a good men's title fight as a co-main event, right? An actual title. I like the BMF belt. It's cool. I like the Gaethje Holloway fight. It's a great fight, but we need a men's title fight. Like, fucking, what's it called? Stipe versus John Jones? That card had alexpereira versus Yuri for the light heavyweight title as the co-main. Why can't we have a co-main at that level for 300? That was just any other card. I mean, it was an MSG card, but this is 300. This comes only once every fucking 6 to 8 years, something like that. So, I don't think that Zhang Weili versus Shanzanon's co-main worthy. It doesn't even fit the theme of the card. It's not a super entertaining fight. I don't think it will be. I mean, we'll see, but I'm going to show you guys some new co-main events. So, people that are off the card, Hamzat is off the card, Shavkat's off the card, Islam's off the card, Stipe's off the card. These people definitely won't be fighting, because Shavkat, Hamzat, and Islam apparently denied a fight with Leon Edwards for 300 main event. So, I highly doubt they would take a co-main event against anybody else. Now, I don't think that they're ducks. I think that Ramadan, Shavkat's injured. So, those are all decent reasons. But Stipe, on the other hand, he denied a fight with Aspinall for no reason. I think Stipe is a bit of a duck, but he's just waiting for the John Jones fight, which I can kind of understand. But yeah, none of these people will be fighting on the card. People that are most likely off the card, but maybe could be on it. O'Malley, he's fighting at 299, and I highly doubt he's going to get a 1-second knockout against Chito Vera. So I don't think he'll be on the card. What's his name? Fucking Why did I say what's his name? I'm sorry to Pantoja. That's disrespectful. Pantoja, the flyweight champion, I don't think he'll be fighting on the card because he's fighting at the Brazil card. Yeah, 301. So yeah, they don't have a lot of Brazilian fighters that can main event the card. Pantoja is one of the only options, so they're probably going to put him on the Brazilian card. Ilia Topuria, he just fought recently. I mean, Volk said he wanted to fight at 300, so maybe Ilia could try and one-up him and do it. So I wouldn't be super surprised, but probably, most likely not. Same case with Whitaker. I mean, he could, but it's unlikely. Almeida Blades winner. I mean, they could, but 299 is very close to 300, so that's like a month apart. I highly doubt it. But yeah, these people probably won't be on the card. I'll be including some of them, some of the more likely ones, but most likely they won't be on the card. So let's get started with the co-main event options. Option number 1, dricusduplessis versus isrealadesanya. This could have easily been the main event over alexpereira and jamahalhill. I think after Conor versus anybody and Alex versus Izzy 3, this would be my option for the main event. But it's not the main event, so I would not mind it as a co-main. Having alexpereira versus Jamahalhill, Dricus versus Izzy on the same card, you could advertise it as a double main event if you want to, would be sick. That would be amazing. Both of these guys' camps and teams were advocating for the fight, so I don't know why it didn't happen. It just doesn't make any sense. If it was up to me, I would have made this the main event, alexpereira versus Jamahalhill the co-main event, and you could advertise them both kind of as the main event. I mean, co-main, main, they're just labels. You could just say that they're both main event. Just have them both be the same size as the posters. On the posters, like they're both the same size. So yeah, I would say this would be the number 1 option for a co-main event. This would be a sick co-main event. The history, the rivalry. This fight was supposed to happen in September, but Izzy fought Strickland and lost. But yeah, this fight makes sense. Option number 2, Dricus versus Strickland 2. The first fight, very, very, very competitive fight. Could have went either way. A lot of people want to see this rematch. The first fight was definitely a very good fight. And this would be a great co-main. This would be a great co-main for the card. Be an entertaining fight. Strickland always makes the build-up entertaining. And this is definitely a worthy co-main for the card. Now, if Strickland and Izzy aren't ready or whatever, you do Dricus versus Cannonier. This fight stylistically would be very entertaining. 2 big power punchers. They'll come forward, they'll throw. And I think someone's getting knocked out if they fight. So yeah, this fight would be very entertaining. And I would be happy if they announced this as a co-main event. Option number 4. Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Now, I do know that Aspinall was the one that said he wouldn't fight Ciryl Gane because Ciryl Gane denied him or something like that. But Give him an extra 100K. Maybe that'll change his mind. Yeah, this fight, the strike in between the two would be great. These are two heavyweights that move like they're welterweights, and they still got the power of heavyweights. So I would love to see this fight, and it would be a good test to see how Aspinall does against someone that John Jones fought. Because if Aspinall can just spark out Gane in one round, he can really make a case for that John Jones fight. I know he already has a case, but he can really strengthen that. He can say, I just beat the guy that you beat for the title. I beat Sergey, the dangerous guy that everyone didn't want to fight, and now you're going to fight Stipe over me? John Jones really can't say no to that. I mean, he already can't say no, but that'll just back him in the corner even more. So yeah, if you can't get Dricus on the card against somebody, I would not mind this as a co-main event. Option number 5. Now I know Ilya just fought, that's why I put him in unlikely, but it's a big card. You know, Ilya, he doesn't seem like the type of guy to deny fights. So if they offered him this fight, I wouldn't be surprised if he took it. Ilya versus Moskar, two undefeated fighters. That alone would make the build-up good. I think the only time that two undefeated fighters fought for the belt was Izzy versus Costa. So this would be a new thing. It would be a fresh matchup in the featherweight division. Two undefeated fighters. Somebody's O's got to go. I would love this fight as a co-main event. Now, originally when 300 was announced and the fights were starting to get announced, I was saying I don't even want this on the card. I don't want this as a co-main. I really don't want it as a main, which I still agree with. I would much prefer alexpereira versus jamahalhill as a main event. But man, if they announce this as a co-main event tomorrow, I wouldn't be upset. I'll be pretty happy. Because right now I feel like they're not going to announce a new fight as a co-main event. And Leon's a good champion. Bilal's really earned his title shot. I know they're both stylistically a little bit boring fighters, but hey, maybe it'll be entertaining. You never know. And it's still two top fighters going at it. And these are two very, very good fighters. And I would be fine with this as co-main. If they announce this tomorrow, if all those other options are available, I would be fine with this as a co-main. I would be excited for the fight. I would say add a couple more top contender fights too. Just add a little bit more hype to the fight, the card. You know. Now they do have a lot of good top contender fights to the card, but if you add a couple more, I think that would just be the cherry on top. That would make the card insane. So first, if you can't get Aspinall versus Gane, you could do Gane versus Sergey. This fight's self-explanatory. Anybody that knows UFC knows this fight would be amazing. Aspinall versus Gane. I'm saying that would be a good co-main, but for a prelim headliner or a main card opener, Gane versus Sergey, that would be an amazing fight. But if Gane denies it, or if Gane's actually fighting Aspinall as a co-main, I would say Sergey versus Volkov. Sergey just needs to be on the card, in my opinion. And if it's not Gane, Volkov just makes the most sense. Because if you just look at all the contenders, Stipe would deny it. Blades and Almeida are fighting. Gane, I just said Gane. Fucking Aspinall just fought him. Yeah, I would say Volkov just makes the most sense, and you need to get Sergey on the card. Volkov's a decent opponent. He's coming off some good wins, so I wouldn't mind this fight on the card. I would say you get Usman on there. Usman against Bilal. If Bilal's not fighting for the belt, I know it's kind of dirty, not giving Bilal the title shot, but Usman, if he's fighting at welterweight, this is really the only fight that makes sense for him, apart from Shavkat. But Shavkat's injured, so he won't be fighting at 300. If he denied a title fight main event, I highly doubt that he would accept a fucking undercard fight against Usman. So yeah, Usman versus Bilal. If Leon and Bilal isn't happening, this fight would be great. If Usman wants to stay at 170, if Usman wants to move up to 185, Usman versus Paulo Costa. That would be a banger fight. Stylistically, it might be a little bit of a tough fight for Usman, but Usman is a great fighter. I wouldn't be surprised if Usman won. Usman against any 185, really. Usman versus Whitaker. I would love that fight. I don't think Whitaker would take it because 298. I know Costa just fought at 298, but Costa said he wants to fight in 2 months. Now, I don't know if he's capping. He's lying. We'll see. I guess they could offer Costa the fight and see if he's lying. But yeah, Usman versus Costa. That would be a great fight. Usman versus Cannonier. Usman versus Whitaker. Just offer it to a bunch of 185ers, and whoever accepts gets the fight. And they got to fight Usman on 300. I think you have to put Usman on this card. It only makes sense. Cannonier versus Costa. That would be an amazing fight. I know rankings-wise, Costa doesn't really deserve it, but man, it would just be a great fight. I would love to see those two fight. I think it would just be super entertaining, so why not put it on the card? And if not, Cannonier versus Amavov makes sense ranking-wise, because Hamza, I don't think he's going to fight because of Ramadan. And Amavov is a good up-and-coming contender. He just beat Dolidze, who was supposed to fight Cannonier. And rankings-wise, this fight makes a bit of sense. You could give Dolidze, he already beat Dolidze. You could give Amavov a little bit of a jump up in the rankings. And Cannonier, if he wins this one, he's definitely fighting for a belt. I just say put Cannonier on the card against anyone. I mean, Cannonier versus Usman, as I said earlier, that would be good. Give Cannonier a fight on the card. He deserves to be on this card. He's an entertaining fighter. And if he got announced to be fighting on the card tomorrow, I'll be excited. Cape versus Kai Kara France. This is a no-brainer in my opinion. This would be a great opportunity for both of them. It would be an amazing fight stylistically. And they got the rivalry, they got the beef. The striking exchanges between these two would be crazy. Just put it on the card. I don't even need to explain it. Listen, UFC, if you're listening, why not? Just throw it on there. People are a little disappointed with the card. Throw some good fights on there. This would be a great fight. I know that Dan Hooker said he wants to fight in June, but hey, try and offer him the fights. Fiziev versus Dan Hooker, that would be a great fight. Jalen Turner, Dan Hooker 2, another great fight. But if Dan Hooker's not ready, Fiziev versus Jalen Turner would be a great fight. Any of these fights, they would be bangers. It would be great fights for the prelims. So, yeah, I'd say any of these fights. Any of these fights would be a great addition to the card. So, I say Josh Emmett versus Giga, Josh Emmett versus Edson Barboza, or Giga versus Edson Barboza. Any of those fights would be great. My best option would be Josh Emmett versus Edson Barboza. That fight stylistically, I think, would be a banger. Edson Barboza's a legend. He would be great to have on the card. But any of these fights would make sense. Ranking-wise, they make sense. You know, Giga versus Josh Emmett was supposed to happen on 296, but Giga pulled out with an injury. Bryce Mitchell stepped in, got knocked out very badly. So that just shows Josh Emmett's got some crazy power, and let's see how Giga can do against that. Giga versus Edson Barboza, two great kickboxers. Rankings-wise, it makes sense. All of these fights would be a great addition to the card. So, yeah, put any of these fights on the card. And that's the full card. Let me know what you guys think about it. Put in the comments below your thoughts. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that.